Okay, let's get started. This one is going to be for my bow lovers. These are for the guys that want to do nothing else but use a bow and arrow on this game. I'm going to tell you exactly which race is the one you should pick for the best damage, but however, just so you know, my own personal opinion about this whole race thing is pick whichever way you like to look instead of just the benefits, because if you look in the description of an high elf, for example, it says they are exceptionally gifted in arcane arts, they also boost resistance to illnesses, they are vulnerable to fire, so they take more fire damage, frost damage, and shock damage, so they're basically more vulnerable to magic. So there's pros and cons for the races you pick. Now the best race you can pick an archer is a wood elf. Now I am going to change it to find out which one the wood elf is, but if you do want to check out this face that I made, and if you want a guide on how to make this face that looks good and attractive as a high elf, the video should be up on my channel. So go ahead and check that out. Time for us to lose this face. All that hard work gone. Okay, nice. Okay, so here is the wood elf. So if you look at the description, right, it says they are nimble and quick, good scouts and thieves. There are no finer archers in all of Tamriel, and they can also command some creatures. So if you want to pick and play as an archer, the number one race that I would recommend you to pick is going to be this wood elf. Now, and the reason for this is because as soon as you start the game, you're going to get a 10 plus bonus to your marksman skill from the start of the game just by existing. You're also going to get a plus 10 to your agility skill, which directly affects your accuracy and damage with bows. They are also naturally sneaky with bonuses to sneak and light armor, perfect for mobile ranged character, and there's no other race that would benefit you more than the wood elf. Only issue is you might want to be a human, you might want to be a nord and range and use a bow and arrow, you might want to be a high elf, or you might just not like the race itself. For example, Bretons, they're gaining massive 50% magic resist straight off the bat just by existing. You know, there's pros and cons to each and every single one of these races, but my advice to you would be to start off with the high elf. If you want me to make a high elf character customization where it actually looks somewhat attractive and not like a monstrosity out of your worst nightmares, then I can do that too. Just comment it down below and I'll happily do that. Now here is another thing that we do have to talk about, and that is the birth sign. They're gonna ask you which birth sign you want to pick, and you might be like, what the fuck is a birth sign? It's just more bonuses that you can add, and it's more specific bonuses. For example, you can give yourself bonus magicka, which will allow you to cast more spells. However, if you're going to use a bow and arrow, then why on earth would you want to pick the mate? Exactly. So there's only one option that you can go with as an archer, and that is the warrior. Sorry. The thief. The warrior is down here, I believe. Yeah, that's the warrior. So the thing with the warrior, you can make it work on a bow and arrow guy because you're giving yourself plus 10 endurance. It's not going to be as perfect for pure archers, but the endurance gives you a boost to more health and survivability, so it kind of helps you a little bit there. Makes you a little bit less squishy, especially early game when you need to, when you need help. So if you want to go for that, then go for it. But my number one pick that just goes so well with this build is going to be the thief. So let's just talk about this. So already, just because we picked the wood elf, we got a plus 10 to marksman and a plus 10 to agility. Now that we are picking the thief, we are getting a plus 10 to agility, plus 10 to speed, and a plus 10 to luck. Agility means better bow damage and accuracy. The speed means faster movement, and it's gonna allow you to kite enemies and get away from them, because with a bow and arrow, you know, some people are gonna be chasing you, and you don't want to be in their face with a sword being swung at you. So you want to keep moving and hitting, and the speed is gonna allow you to do that. Next is luck. It kind of boosts everything. If you don't know what luck is in this game, it's like it helps you with critical hits, dodge chances, and you know, just luck. I don't really know how else to explain it, but yeah. Now next up we have oh god. Now next up we have the most fun page to customize to our own liking, which is the major skill section that they're going to ask you to do as well. Now first of all, they're going to ask you to decide on what you specialize in. Now obviously we're going to specialize in stealth. Pretty self-explanatory. This is going to give you a plus 5 to your marksman, to your sneak, and other stealthy skills. So this is exactly what we want. So we're going to go ahead and pick that. Next page, we are going to be taking agility and speed. Also in this page, it does explain in much better detail what agility does, what speed does, what endurance is. So if you still don't know, if you're still confused, come to this page and you understand exactly what it does. Because agility also gives you damage with daggers. It helps you. It gives you extra damage with daggers too. So don't feel like you're only going to be a bow and arrow user that's going to be completely useless. There might be some times where you need to take out a dagger to assassinate someone, or you might need to take out a dagger because you're in close combat. You can do that. It is going to boost your melee damage just by boosting your bow damage somehow. This is completely broken. I don't know why this is a thing. I don't know why agility does this, but whatever. Agility does this as well. Now speed. What is speed going to do? Like I said, it's going to help you move faster. You are going to need to move fast to reposition as an archer constantly, almost all the time. And because your health is going to suck so much as an archer, you need some form of survivability, and it's definitely not going to be from your health or from the armor you use, because you're going to use light armor too. Spoiler alert. So you don't have health, you take a bunch of damage. How else can you survive? Well, by running away. That's the best thing you can do at this point. So off to the next page we go. Right, and now in the next page, it's going to ask you what your major skills are. Now immediately you want to go to the last tab, which is going to be the stealth section, and pick sneak and marksman. Now I want you guys to understand something. If you ever click onto another marksman guide and they do not tell you to get the marksman and sneak major skills, I want you to do me a favor and click off that video and report that channel. No, jokes aside, for obvious reasons, marksman affects how much damage you do with bows. Sneak is how sneaky you are and how undetected you can go. It also increases your damage too. There's traits with sneak that you can get. For example, at maximum sneak, which is at level 100, you can get an attribute called ignore the opponent's armor. Once you reach a level 100 sneak, for some reason on this game, you can ignore the opponent's armor entirely. So regardless of how tanky the opponent is in front of you, if you land a sneak attack on them, you are going to ignore their armor. Not only that, when you do land a sneak attack on people, you deal almost 2.8 times damage and even more than that later on. I'm pretty sure it goes over 3 too. So by doing sneak attacks, you're going to be doing so much damage, and this is exactly how you're going to be one-shotting the targets from far, and this is it. So sneak is important. Please, if you're new to the series, if you're new to Elder Scrolls and whatever, sneak is one of the best ways to deal double damage and, you know, just stealthy damage. It's so good, and once you get into it, you understand exactly what I mean and why this shit is so overpowered. Honestly, it's not even about pickpocketing. It's not even about movement unseen. Just the damage traits that you get from this is absolutely insane to me. But yeah, the marksman is pretty self-explanatory. You just overall increase the damage bows. You can also get stuff like paralyzing targets with your bow damage. So whenever you hit someone with a bow, you can paralyze them. You can now aim in with a bow. There's many damage buffing bow tricks here that you need to get, so definitely get marksman. Also, one more quick thing in this page where we've taken agility and speed. Some people also do take endurance instead of speed just to help out with their survivability. But I'm going to assume that you're an absolute god and you want to be an absolute god and you want to play risky. You just want the maximum damage possible and best thing ever. So we're gonna say fuck survivability. We are here to do damage and we're gonna fast at doing it too. So that's why we're taking speed. Back to the topic of the major skills. Now we are going to take light armor. Why? Because basically in this section, the major skills tab is basically, so in the major skills section, I'm gonna try and explain this in the shortest way I can. They're asking you to pick skills that you want to have a double XP boost. I go into more detail about this in my other video, so if you do want to check that out, feel free, go ahead and check that out. You understand these skills a bit more if you're confused about these skills. But essentially you're picking what you want to get an initial boost and have a permanent double XP in your game. So ideally picking skills that are very hard to train can also be beneficial to you, even if you are an archer, if you just want to max them out. But first we want to pick skills that we're going to use as an archer and that's going to help us level up. Because in Oblivion, every single 10 skill increases you get are going to equal to 1 character level up. So we want to use stuff that we're actually going to use. So that is exactly why we are going to be taking light armor. You can move fast. It's not going to weigh you down that much whilst having some protection. And also you're going to get other benefits to this armor by it not deteriorating as fast and you don't need to repair it as much. Just a bunch of bonuses to light armor, and we are going to be using light armor, so that is exactly why we are taking light armor. I don't know how many times I could say light armor anymore, but we're going to move. Acrobatics, there's a very clear reason as to why we are going to be taking this. Your survivability sucks. We've taken nothing into endurance in any other sections, which is perfectly fine by the way, but acrobatics is also another survivability attribute, just like speed, that you can take that's going to help you survive. Why? You can jump to places where other NPCs can't jump to. It could be a rock, it could be a tree, it could be a high place, a ceiling, I don't know, anything, I don't know. Jump onto stuff. Get yourself into a safe space where enemies can't reach you and you could just shoot them with a bow and arrow and take 0 damage. This is going to allow you to jump higher and withstand higher falls. You're going to be running, you're going to be moving, you're going to be jumping, you're going to be getting to high places, you might drop, you'll take much less damage. This is just going to help you survive much better, so we're definitely going to be taking acrobatics too. Okay, now next up we are going to talk about another skill that you're definitely going to need as an archer. You are going to take alchemy. Now I hate making potions, I understand, believe me, you have not met anyone in your life that hates making potions more than me. Finding this ingredient, combining this, what does this do? It's so long. It's like I'm not here to study. Okay, I've already failed at that in real life. Why do I need to study what makes a good potion in this game as well, right? I feel you, but we're not going to be making potions. We're making poisons for our arrows. Yeah, I mean, you can also make health potions for emergency. You can also make yourself super rich by the skill. So this is going to help your adventure a lot. Now, next on the list, we can talk about security. Now, the reason why I'm not going to talk about security and I recommend you to get security in here is because there's a pretty easy bug you can do to exploit to get 99 security anyway. You don't need to get this for that reason. And even if you don't want to exploit the bug and you want to play the game legit, right? This kind of levels up very easily anyway. And plus, eventually you're going to get to a point where you have so much money, the loot that is in chests are not going to entice you as much once you get to the super end game. I know that's super far away, but eventually this is going to die out is what I'm trying to say, and you can easily level up yourself in. So for that, So yes, this does unlock chests and doors silently. It fits your whole thief sniper vibe perfectly, but we're just not gonna do that. Next up, we are gonna take a skill which is completely busted and broken in the magic section, which is illusion. You can silence and paralyze people. I kid you not, it feels like for 2 minutes. You can just stop someone from existing, from moving, from attacking you. You can paralyze them for such a long time and just turn the battle into your favor. Obviously, the creating light is bullshit. Who gives a shit about creating a flashlight? Like, that's nothing special. I could do that right now, have a flashlight in my house. I can also create light. It's nothing special, right? I agree. That's not why we're taking it. We're taking it for the silence, to paralyze, and to conceal. I believe you can also make yourself go invisible too. You can also charm people. You can make yourself go invisible. It's great for stealth and crowd control. You can make enemies freeze or you can flee. It's up to you. You know, if you want to engage them or run away, then it provides survivability as well as free damage. So just extra damage too. Now we have almost a perfect setup. I'm gonna let you guys choose on this last one. You guys can pick for yourself. So let's go to the first page. In Armor, you can repair your broken weapons and armor. In this game, your weapons and armor are going to get like sort of damaged and you need to repair them. If you take this, you can maintain your armor at maximum efficiency much better. You can also repair your gear mid-dungeon and stuff, so it can help you out quite a lot. It's up to you. Next up is going to be Speechcraft. It's not that essential, but it is useful. However, one that I would recommend you to take personally, myself, is going to be either Blade or Athletics. Now, hear me out. Athletics is going to increase your survivability, making you run like Usain Bolt. Speaking of Usain Bolt, would you like to hear a joke? What is the difference between Usain Bolt and the Austrian painter? Usain Bolt can finish a race. Okay, that is it. Now, anyways, let's go on to the next. God damn it. Oh, man. All right, where are we? Okay, athletics. Yeah, speed. Speed. You need speed. You need to run away from people. So that's going to help you out with stuff. It's going to help you with swimming, sprinting, running, everything. So move faster, live longer, live, love, speed. Now, next up is going to be the Blade. Now, we've taken a dagger. Now, if you remember in the agility section, for some reason, daggers got a buff. If we take Blade, this is also going to increase your dagger. So if you want super more damage, if you want to use a dagger at some point, or if you're like, you know what, I'm super against daggers, just like how Muslims are against women's rights, right? Okay, I made the offensive Jewish joke that was much more offensive, so I don't want to hear anything from my Muslim brothers, okay? I don't want to. It's a joke, okay? It's all just a joke. So we've already boosted the daggers a tad bit in the agility section. If we take this to the Blade, is also going to increase your daggers by a lot. You're going to have so much dagger damage, as well as having so much marksman damage. You're just going to have a lot of damage. However, if you're saying to me, hey, look, I really don't want to use anything else but a bow and arrow, by all means, do not take that. You might want to take, you know, one of these instead. And now just a quick tip for you guys before I do end this chaotic video. A few items for you to start off with. Now, a hunting bow, you can buy it from, I suck at pronouncing this, Varule in Chorol. Definitely butchered that. You can find it on random enemies too, like bandits or there in the woods. So yeah, good luck. The steel dagger is also a good dagger to have by your side with your hunting bow. You can buy it in Imperial City or Shingdenhall. Great, fantastic. Let's just keep it moving. You can even loot it from the Thieves Guild members or random NPCs. The hunting bow is also found in the Imperial City, I believe, like on enemies like the bandits and thieves. So, or you might be lucky enough to find it from a vendor. So yeah, just thought I should give you that tip there too. With all that being said, I hope you have enjoyed this setup. I hope I made you laugh. I hope my jokes made you laugh. I hope you had a good time. I hope you didn't take anything seriously. With all that being said, I love you all. Thank you so much for the continued love and support to this channel, because without you, I have no one. If you do want to see another build guide, I do have another one actually. I have a battle mage setup on my channel too. So if you do want to become a battle mage, there is already a video out on my channel. Feel free to check that out whenever you want. If you want anything out of the ordinary that you're not seeing the generic YouTubers doing, I can do it for you. Don't worry, I can happily do it for you. So with all that being said, thank you guys so much. I don't want this video to go on any longer, and yeah, take care, love you all. And if you're wondering when I'm going to make a joke about the Christians, that is going to come in my next episode when I visit the chapel or the church. You can already see where I'm going with this. Take care. I have to end it. But yeah, take care. Goodbye.